started last time with the planning, which is always dangerous. We walked into this town, and we were planning on saying that we were brigands looking for work, and we're quite ready to do that whole spiel. But found a deserted town. It was 8 in the morning when we came in, and we chucked a card of illusions into town, and we did some other things. But eventually, we went through the town and pretty well discovered that it was fully abandoned. To the point where there was even a horse that was killed rather than taken, which was kind of weird. But no people in the town. We had been expecting there to be people based on the scrying spell, which maybe we should have started there. Session before last was when Tarvik scryed, and he saw something very specific that was going to happen in 3 hours in this town.
That wasn't necessarily. I don't think that was scry, because scry is what's happening right now. This was like a divination, some other divination thing.
Yes, it's literally it's divination.
Sorry, yep. My apologies. But what exactly did you see in your divination spell again?
I think I saw a bunch of people running around the town. It was on fire. And there were gloomers coming through the town. I think those were the 3 key details. And upon arriving in the town and looking around, we saw no people, we saw no fire, and we saw no gloomers yet. So, as the time approaches, we're kind of waiting for all of those things to appear.
And the people were like regular people, not dwarves, not like army, not soldiers. Regular people that seem to not be here. Eventually we do scry on Zeke. We saw that he was bound by the hands and mouth gagged, being dragged on the ground. He was conscious and walking with his head down. He was accompanied by 8 dwarves who were all well armored. It looked like they had recently been in a scuffle, which matched the timeline of the person who reported Zeke having been kidnapped. And they were approaching the town from the south, like from like Zeke was approaching from Duros, and they were ambushed on the road, and they were just making the rest of their trek to this town. We also saw that there was a familiar face amongst them. Nicolai is in their group. And
yes, and Nicolai is a dwarf who we met back in Parabor, back in sort of the beginning of the adventure, and he was working for then Governess Seagarden, and he is someone that Rita talked to quite a bit because he's from the same dwarven city that Cromwell was from. And he had sort of a beef with Cromwell. He sort of believed the rumors about what had, or not even rumors, it's the propaganda about why Cromwell was such a terrible person. But I think at the end of it, when he was leaving, it was Nicolai and Cromwell sort of got together. Nicolai, this is what I remember. I didn't write this down. This is what I remember. Nicolai, came to Cromwell and he was like, "Hey, we gotta go home." There's something that he had learned, or something that had happened that he had learned about, where he was like, "I want to team up with Cromwell now," and they like left together to go to Bernholder.
We don't know for sure.
Conversations with him.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. Cromwell could have been like kidnapped by Nicolai or tricked by Nicolai or something like that. We don't know for sure that Nicolai is on Cromwell's side. I kind of missed that.
But they did.
I thought Nicolai was still mad at Cromwell. I'm sorry.
That's maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. But that's what I thought.
Says, I'm going back to Bernholder with Nicolai after talking with him. There's things that are happening at home I need to do.
Okay.
That's what Cromwell's note said. Yeah.
Okay. So we definitely need Nicolai to okay.
Yeah. And the thing that's really in my head about this is that like Nicolai worked for Seagarden, and now he is like trying to kidnap Seagarden's most important lieutenant, basically. And so I want to talk to him and figure out what he's doing.
Oh, this was a completely new light, because if Nicolai was legitimate in helping Cromwell, and Nicolai's allies with these guys could be allies with Cromwell, and I thought for sure that they were other dwarves. Oh gosh, okay, that very much changes how I feel about this group of dwarves.
But
anyways,
when I sent to Nicolai and I asked some pretty pointed questions about let me see if I wrote down, if I still have what I sent to him. I think I do. I just I just got what I asked for. I asked him about what's going on in Burnholder. I asked who's in charge of Burnholder. I asked him what Darkstone is missing, because that is that is sort of the story that's been sold by Michael, the foot soldier who ran back to Seagarden's estate and told us, "Hey, Zeke has been captured." He was saying that he was captured as a political prisoner to trade for Darkstone back. So that could be Cromwell Darkstone, or it could be one of his family members. I asked Nicolai which Darkstone is missing, and he said that his response was, "I don't know what you're talking about." So that is very suspicious.
Well, it is very suspicious, but all it indicates is that Nicolai doesn't trust us, which, even if he was allies with Cromwell, that might still be true.
And yes, and that's why I want to kidnap him and figure out what's going on.
The point is, we want to kidnap him. We very much want to kidnap him. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so we were up on rooftops whenever their group came in. Their group rolled well and we rolled shit. So they saw us on the rooftop and we did not get to ambush them. A fight broke out. So far, they have not fired at us, nor have we hurt any of them, but we are an initiative. I think Rita is like running through them towards this along the main road towards the south. The other three of us are to the north going round where we saw them push Zeke out of the way. I think that's where we are anyways.
That's a good description.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's also drizzling rain.
It's raining.
And we think the place has been abandoned for about 2 weeks. Those are my important notes.
Good point. And I think we're like within just like a few minutes of what should have been like the 3 hours that aligned, like within at least within an hour of what should have aligned with Cromwell's vision. If the vision comes true, it would be within like the next little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Tarvik's vision.
Tarvik, sorry.
And I want to say, like, I think something that's important about divination specifically is this is the timeline if no one intervenes with it, essentially. So we are actively already intervening in the scene, so that changes a lot of things. But I don't know if it would change, like, the Gloomers, for instance. I don't know if it would change the people appearing or the fire. It just depends.
So do you feel very confident in how the magic would work, that if we were the starters of the fire, then that you wouldn't have seen the fire? That something else starts the fire?
So it's a weird thing
That's
about
hard.
the spell, right? So it's assuming that, like, imagine if I didn't cast that spell, what were we going to do? If
Definitely
we
would have
were
come here and interfered anyways, right?
Yes, if
you
we
had-
would have.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it sounds like we were going to be here anyway. And if we were the result of the fire, then yes, that would have been it. If, on the other hand, it was something like, I don't know, like I did the scrying and I found out that Zeke was somewhere entirely different, and so we went to that place instead. I would have no idea what would go on here, and it could literally be the same thing, or it could be something totally different.
That's all fair. I think at the end of the day, we just don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with that. But if it comes to pass, it will be soon.
All right. Any other little tidbits here? Okay. Let's jump into tonight's session. So, where we left off is we had just finished a round, and then it's the top of the round with the dwarves. And so you see, I guess Rita is the only person who really has concrete visual, but Rita, you don't really see any movement. You just kind of see them continue to hold their stance, and then it's your turn.
Okay. Ooh, that's interesting. They're just holding. Okay, I'm gonna follow through with my plan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cast my 3rd level spell, Hypnotic Pattern, and I want to put it in a spot. So it's a 30-foot cube. I want to put it in a spot where this nice line of show to others where this nice line of dwarves here is hit, but Zeke is not.
Okay. Can you
So this is just the yeah.
Thanks. And then I'm gonna
So it's wisdom saving throws.
I'm gonna try and put this here, and then let's see. It's gonna be a square. So let me see if I can do that. The square. You said 30 feet.
Yep. So I'm just gonna push it over this direction somewhere so that the edge of it catches these 3 are on the edge of it, but Zeke is not.
Okay. We'll just move it to be a cube like that, basically. Is what you want?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
great. Alright, let's roll. I'm gonna roll. 1, 2, 3. 1 saves. So the first one saves, and then these bottom 2, 8 and a 5, do not save. So let's see. Okay, so we'll do a marker for these 2. Let's do a little heart, as they are charmed, because they love you.
They are charmed and incapacitated.
Oh, lovely.
The creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Wow. Alright, let's put a red dot as well. So I don't do anything.
And I am concentrating on it, so I will do that. And I think that for my first turn, that is all that I want to do.
Alright, describe to me what your hypnotic pattern looks like.
Yeah, so Rita sort of is running up. She has just done a like a triple dash, I think, or double dash plus move using expeditious retreat. So she as she runs up to her spot, she stops and sort of jumps in the air and plants her heels into the ground and continues sliding a little bit to the end of it. And as she's doing that, she's pulling out he's pulling out the electric guitar pick, and she just plays this ridiculous dominant 13 diminished 7 crazy jazz chord, and each of these different notes that comes into this harmony corresponds to a different color that comes out from the vibrating strings, and it's just creates this cube of swirling colors that spin around in the air, and 2 of these dwarves are just looking up at them, and their mouth just sort of goes open, starts to drool out, and their eyes begin to the colors kind of come up in their eyes, and they're just sort of staring at the staring at the colors.
Nice little disco ball in the eyeballs.
Exactly. Yep.
Nice. As soon as you go ahead and you kind of cast this spell, you hear what's his name? Nicolai, kind of off right to your back, shout out, "Magic!" And then you immediately, hopefully, maybe, feel something. Let me Does a 17 hit you?
Nope.
Ooh. Well, that's the only one that releases. So you hear someone cry out behind you in Nicolai's voice, "Magic!" And then you feel a crossbow bolt just shoot off right next to your head. Shoots off in the distance. But you heard it aim at you. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, I think I don't want to move, and I don't want to use a bonus action, so yep, that's it.
Alright. Roland, you hear off in the distance, "Magic!"
Roland's going to move to there, and then is going to go ahead and cast Expeditious Retreat, which I am concentrating on now. I click on my token. That's weird. Alright, concentrate on Expeditious Retreat, and then bonus action's going to move again. Go 20 feet to there. And then... Okay. Okie dokie.
You round the corner and immediately you see these folks here.
Okay. And this one's Nicolai? Or sorry, not Nicolai. Which one's Zeke of these? Any
The
of them?
one with the shield.
Oh, the shield Zeke. So there is still one dude, one dwarf that appears normal, and two that appear hit.
You instantly see the two that are far back are just kind of looking up into the sky off to their right a little bit with their mouth agape. Little drool. Hidden by the drizzling rain.
I am out of actions and will stop there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm stopping there for my turn.
Okay. Cassandra, you're next.
Alright, I'm gonna try sneak up around the back here, so I'm gonna bonus action dash to get over there. I don't see anyone just yet, so I'll go ahead and use my action to also dash. So I'll go there. Now I see Tarvik. I'm way behind everyone. Alright. That's it.
Alright. Oh, by the way, Roland or Cassandra, do you guys say anything? Or no?
I'm trying to be quiet.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be sneaky too.
Okay. Both of you, just for the heck of it, roll me stealth checks then. You're both trying to be quiet. Ooh, Roland coming in with the 20, and no surprise with Cassandra the rogue.
But that's really good for rolling.
I
guess we both rolled 18.
So, Roland, you see Zeke is kind of like pressed up against the wall, and he has like his hands shackled in his wrists, and you see him kind of look towards you, and kind of like in a dreary state. You see his eyes kind of liven up, and he kind of shoves his hands outward toward you. They're not physically moving his body, as you can still see one of the dwarves still kind of like holding in his grasp. But he looks to you, making eye contact, pointingly, and shoves his hands out and says, "Help!"
Zeke sees me, but the dwarf does not see me.
The dwarf is facing the other direction. But Zeke was kind of thrown up against the wall, so he was kind of side.
Perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
Tarvik.
Alright, I think I can see these fellows down here. It looks like, correct?
If you can see it, then you can see it, yeah.
Yes.
It's hard for me because I see everyone's angle. So.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I did have a question because I don't think this is lining up perfectly. Are we using the boxes or are we using the actual streets for it? Oh no, it lines up now. Never mind, JK. I'm gonna make my way. I'll make my way right to there. Actually, that will work.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Call Lightning
Dope.
at that point right there between the two of them. And I believe I have this in my notes. It was raining last time.
It's still raining. Can you guys hear it in the sound? I added it.
It's nice.
I don't think I can, but that's not.
Oh no.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna cast Call Lightning at 4th level. And there's got a lot of ands in this. And because there's a storm going on actively, I can take control of the storm, so it does an extra D10 of damage.
Dope.
And I'm going to use my Channel Divinity to maximize the damage on both of them. So if they can make me Dexterity saving throws, failure is going to be 50 points of damage, and then
Holy shit! Oh
Yeah.
dang! Yeah, these boys fail. 6 and 13? I don't think so.
Yeah. So that would be. Yeah, so that would be 50 points of damage.
All right. Describe this to me. How is Tarvik calling down?
I think he's he's been kind of like prepping a little bit of lightning when he starts running over, and he just runs down, and like the storm just shifts into more of like a spinning pattern as opposed to like what it was doing before. You need to see centered on them just this bolt of lightning come down and just strike the cobblestone there.
Nice. All right. In addition to this, Tarvik. Can you roll me a religion check, please?
Religion, yep. Okay. Not great with religion.
Great. Can you roll me a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Great. I'm great at those.
Great.
Alright,
so Tarvik, as soon as you call down this lightning, you see the swirling pattern, and it strikes down in this area. Rita, behind you, you can feel some heat and like almost a blast of air push and radiate kind of going through you. Your hair gets blown in front of you a bit. And Tarvik, you see in front of where you struck down, immediately a body falls to the ground, one that was holding a crossbow, and you see the crossbow scatter to the ground, and a body falls to the ground. And I'm going to mark it in the red dot that you see. And then you see the dwarf next to him kind of kneels to the ground in pain as searing smoke kind of shoots off from the area. And you can hear, "Ugh!" as a shriek of pain from the dwarf, who's still kind of relatively standing, we'll say, but kind of actually just on a knee. And immediately, instantaneously, as you're kind of taking in this scenario, a stray bolt shoots off towards your direction as you immediately try and react. Unfortunately, you get kind of like hit in the shoulder, and you're gonna... Ouch. Ooh, I rolled good on that one. You take 8 points of lightning damage as...
Okay.
Make an insight check for me as well.
Okay.
Okay. For some reason, you're feeling anger in the lightning as it hits you. It's but an instant. You feel a wave of anger as you get struck. It's shoulder. You see a little bit of like smoldering. Nothing too hard. But that was weird. Anything else for your turn?
I will move. I think I have a little bit more movement. I'll just move to there.
Okay.
So it's Rita.
You inch forward. You kind of smell like burning skin as you waft closer, or as you walk closer, kind of wafting in the air. You hear the person who was kind of talking to you all at the very beginning of your encounter yell out, kind of like a roar almost, like sadness and anger and surprise mixed up as you see this guy moves forward towards you, Tarvik, here, and is going to engage you as he's screaming, running up towards you. You can see he's wielding a rapier and a hand axe. And he's going to try and strike... Oh, natural one. Okay. He's going to strike at you with his rapier and just swipes wildly out of any type of range to you. It goes right and very wide. And you can see he kind of swings down to the left. Does a 16 hit you?
It does not.
All right, you can see again, he like wildly swings with his left hand, slashing down, and again, you kind of duck your head easily out of the way as he swipes through the air. Oh wait, sorry, 16, 17, 18. 18.
What was it?
Oh wait, no, wait, damage rolls. Never mind, sorry. 16. Okay, 16 to hit you.
16 misses.
Yes, okay, perfect. So it just swipes, and you can see there's like a seething frustration and anger in his eyes as he looks towards you.
Is this a dwarf, or is this?
It is a dwarf, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It was the one who was talking to Rita in the street during last
Oh, okay.
Kind of leading everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you see in front of you over here, someone, like the dwarf who was kind of kneeling, immediately goes over to the one who kind of dropped down to the ground and is not moving anymore. Okay, and you see him kind of like start pressing his hand on his basically body, just anywhere in his body. As you can see, the smoke still sifting through. You see this guy turns around Roland and looks towards you. This guy here, hopefully I'm on the right layer, turns towards you after looking at Zeke's commotion, and is just going to try and wildly strike out against you. Oh, let's see. Uh, 18.
That should hit.
And I think you did have mage armor, right? So that's that accounting?
Yep.
Okay.
I have 15 with mage armor, yeah.
Okay. So as he kind of looks at Zeke wide-eyed and then looks back towards you, he immediately slashes, and you take 6 points of piercing damage. And then he's going to try and like kind of do like an uppercut, but with his axe. 15.
That is my AC, so that hits.
So you can see he kind of slashes you for 4 points up on the chin as you kind of barely dodge out of the way, but still take some of the brunt of the damage. As he just kind of readies his stance in front of you, while also turning his head back and looking towards Rita and his comrades as he says, "What's wrong with you guys?" This one is going to turn towards you, Rita, and just kind of, again, just yelling, screaming, trying to slash at you. 13? Does that hit you?
No.
Okay. 11, that one's gonna miss too, as you hear the frustration in this dwarf as he's just like swiping angrily towards you again, making wide arcs, and you're just easily dodging out of the way. That's all of them. Rita, it is now your turn.
Yeah, so Rita like starts to turn around as like there's this explosion and the fire, and she just sort of leans out of the way of these like axe strikes. And as she does, she's starting to yell, just "What the hell, Tarvik!" As she turns around. I look in the direction of the blast. Is it Nicolai that's like dead on the ground?
You take a look. It is his other person.
Okay, I like. Start to walk around.
You can see
this
Nicolai's
dwarf.
not looking great though. He's
Yeah, I turn to sort of start to walk around this dwarf, and with my bonus action, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on the dwarf that fell.
okay.
And hope beyond hope that he isn't just already dead.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll for me. Nice. As you kind of what do you say? What's your healing word?
My healing word is this has escalated way past where I wanted it to. Don't die.
In that frantic shout, your words seem to carry along, and you can almost see the words kind of like carry along, and the rain, the drizzling rain, seems to have like a path carved through it as your words kind of meet the dwarf on the ground, and you can see a labored but chest rising, and a large kind of like gasp. It seems like your healing word did something.
Got it. So that's a bonus action. It's also my spell for the round. So I want to use an action to try to talk to Nicolai. And basically, I know he's just been hit by this ridiculous attack, but I want to use an action to try to persuade him and just at least between me and him, this is a crazy situation, but I'm hoping that I can persuade him that between me and him and our history that like we don't have to be hostile. He and I don't have to fight each other. So I'm gonna like Nicolai, we can calm this down. We cooler heads can emerge. Let's talk this through. And that's what I'm gonna say to him. I'm just trying to persuade him.
Okay, roll. Yeah. Let's see. Let me think about what the DC is. Okay, roll at disadvantage for me.
Okay, just disadvantage. Cool.
Just disadvantage,
yeah. Oh, man.
Holy balls! You can see him. He, like, turns towards you. You see there's rage in his eyes. He's seething. You can almost feel the heat coming off him, but it's probably just because he's charged from lightning. But you can see he's looking at you with anger. You can kind of hear him breathe out a little bit in exasperation. Stop attacking! It seems, for now, he may have been receptive. Not sure, but that's what he said to you.
Okay. Yep, that's it. That's all. That's my turn.
Okay. You guys hear like a very hurt shout. Stop attacking! And all of you would be familiar with Nicolai's voice, except for maybe Tarvik. So all of you kind of recognize his loud shout amongst the drizzling rain. Roland, what do you do?
Roland, okay. Oops, make that to be full. I want to try to position this circle so it hits the dwarves and not Zeke. Is that possible?
Oof.
It's not a big deal if you say no. I'll have it hit Zeke too. So
just roll a d20 for me. High, yes. Low, no. All right.
Okay. Gonna hit all of them. But it is sleep at 3rd level.
Oh,
I'm casting sleep at
nice.
3rd level. Okay, so 45. Yeah, 45 hit points. Starting with whoever has the lowest.
Yes. Let's see who has the lowest. Nice. You see, oh wait. You see, Zeke is just kind of looking towards you with his arms outstretched, and then all of a sudden you see his eyelids, or his eyes go back to his eyelids as he like slumps towards the wall and down onto the ground. He is fast asleep, and that is math. You can see the one who is kind of gazed up, the middle one over here, gazed up and looking towards the thing, just kind of seems to waver a little bit. You see him kind of waver over to the right and then kind of left, and then he kind of goes back, blinks his eyes, and just keeps staring. It seems like Zeke is the only one who slept.
You cut out a little bit. You said none of the other ones fell asleep?
None of the other ones now. It seems like Zeke is the only one.
Well, that sucks. Okay, is this one actually engaged with me or not? He attacked me last turn. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to bonus action cast Expeditious Retreat again, because I lost concentration on it. And that is my turn.
Okay. Cassandra, what do you do?
Still running. I'll
On
go
those little
here.
halfling legs.
Yeah. See if I see anything. Just barely, so I'll have to use my last movement. I'm gonna try and hide behind this bush. Well, I'm using the same stealth as before, but...
Yeah, sure. Alright, you just keep running.
Yep.
Zeke is... You kind of hear him snore. Rolling. It's his turn. Actually, shoot. I didn't think her name was gonna pop up. You might hear a name slip out of his mouth while he's asleep, and let me see if I can find her name in my many.
Does he have a redeeming quality?
Oh my gosh, give me a second, because I remember that this was fairly important and it might blow your guys' mind.
Alright.
Shoot. Obsidian search. Yeah. Roland, you hear in the midst of the slight snoring, Ghek.
Oh, shit.
Yak.
Ghek.
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 Ghek. Okay, Ghek. I do remember Ghek, yes.
Yeah.
Typed it in the chat. Also, just for fun, make an insight check, Roland. As you hear this. It doesn't have to be DM Roland.
16.
Yeah, you're a smart guy. Hop in a one-on-one chat for me.
Okay.
Alright, can you hear me?
If I can hear you, can you hear me?
Yes, when he says Ghek, he kind of says it in like a pleasure-sounding way.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you can hop back in.
That's nice.
Beyond the
Okay.
vault section.
Roland
Yeah,
has a very confused look on his face.
Alright, then we go to Tarvik.
Okay. Alright, after Zeke yelled out, "Stop attacking!"
Not Zeke.
Not Zeke.
You heard
Nicolai.
a dwarf, to the left that
Are they
charged.
actively like? Is the dwarf in front of me looking like he's not attacking, or does he look like he's going to take another swing at me very soon?
Make an insight check for me.
Okay. Insight.
You're good at these.
Should be.
Ooh!
I am.
Very nice. You can see his left eye twitches. He is extremely not happy with the situation, and he's likely going to try and attack you. But you can see the inner turmoil in him of kind of listening to what the other dwarf shouted earlier. But he seems like he's ready to hit you.
Okay. Well,
I'll
if we're
say
gonna play that game,
for mechanics, natural 20 wise, if everyone were to hold and there was another round of no action, no discernible aggressive action from you guys, despite them maybe attacking you, there's a chance for a calmer resolution. But at this point, it's kind of like his rage is set, even though there's a little bit of reasoning able to get through. It's just going to take more time.
right? Here's the problem. I don't know what's happening on the other side of the wall over
Correct.
here with Zeke. I think at this point we are on Plan B, which Plan B was distraction while other people get Zeke away. So I'm still kind of on point distraction. So I think I'm gonna move around him just to here, and then because I'm still concentrating on Call Lightning. Actually, I guess I took lightning damage after I did it, so I should roll a con check to see if I am still concentrating on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's not that hard to beat, though. Yeah, easy.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm just gonna do another Call Lightning on him. I'm not gonna do my Channel Divinity on this. It's just gonna be normal 5d10.
Who are you striking?
The one in front of me.
Okay, all right.
So that's gonna be. He'll need to make a. Yep. Dex check.
Yes. 17?
That passes. So he will only take 14. Yeah, 14.
Okay.
He's also shifted 10 feet away from me.
Oh.
Because I forgot that last time. Because of Wrath of the Storm? Thunder Strike? Oh, Thunder Strike. That's what pushes him. And then I use 10 feet of movement to get over here, I think, and then I'll use 15, 20, 25, 30 to get to here.
Okay. You guys have so many cool abilities.
It's a lot of lightning abilities. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. That ends Tarvik's turn.
Mm-hmm.
He is gonna swing around, and you can see and hear he's like seething. He's going to move his butt. Why can't I grab his token? Okay. Oop. Yeah, he's gonna be able to reach you. So he's gonna come back at you and just try and swing again. And he says, "You killed him!" And then just like strike down. So first attack is a 12, so that's gonna miss.
Nope.
I do believe a 22 hits you though, right?
22 does hit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my reaction though.
Okay.
But he hits regardless.
Yeah, so that's gonna be 4 points of slashing damage. You can see the first swipe just coming down, and you like shift ever so slightly, leaning backwards a little bit, and then he just immediately, without a beat, just kind of upper left. I don't know the descriptor, but he kind of like swipes at you at an upper diagonal movement, very instantaneously, and you feel a gash on your arm. That's 4 slashing if I didn't save it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, okay, great.
And then can he make me a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, absolutely. 20.
That does pass. That does pass. But he is going to take damage regardless of. He'll take half of this. Don't help if I type it incorrectly. Oh, okay. So he takes 1 point of lightning damage.
Okay.
And he's also shifted 10 feet away from me again.
Oh, wow.
That was the
That's so
important
funny.
part.
You can see like a little bit of smoke radiating from his soles as he just gets pushed back 10 feet, and you can see the frustration in his eyes as he like keeps on getting pushed back from you. The guy, Rita, that you had healing word earlier, you can see he's like kind of getting up on his elbows a little bit and just kind of looking dazed a little bit around as he seems to get up and. He seems to get up and just kind of like taking the situation of the battlefield. You can see and hear Nicolai kind of look towards his friend, and seeing that and acknowledging that you healed him, shouts out, "Coin gut! Let's stop! Let's hear what they have to say! He's healed!" And then this guy is gonna try and actually let me roll. Let's see how good. Not that great. Okay. You can see this guy, Rita. He's about to swing towards you. Hears Nicolai and just kind of pauses in the air. Still has his hand raised, but you can see he's paused for the moment. This guy, let's see how good he is. No, okay. Roland, same thing for you. You see the one who... Oh, maybe I should turn around this token so you can kind of see better. Okay, so you can see him again, just like I described to Rita, swing in the air and just kind of pauses as Nicolai shouts this out. The other two, I think, are totally just... Are there saves, Rita, to...
No, I don't believe that there are. It can end if they take damage or if another creature uses their action to shake the creature out of its stupor.
Nice.
But I don't think... I'm just checking. Yeah, I don't see that there's any other saves that they get to make on their own.
Amazing. So you just kind of hear out this one rolling next to you is just kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? As he turns around and then just freezes in the air, seemingly waiting. Rita, what do you do?
So Rita is like scowling at Tarvik, and the spectacles that she's wearing are kind of like low on her nose, and you can just see this like this really.
Rita.
Yeah, just this like she's a librarian and you've just made a noise. Like that's kind of what she looks like. Is she's sort of reaching for her longsword that's still hilted, and puts her hand on the hilt. She's staring at Tarvik, but she just sort of like closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, and then turns to look at Nicolai. And as she looks at Nicolai, she takes her thumb and presses the spectacles up on her nose, and they come up to cover her eyes, and there's like this glare of light where you can't see her eyes beneath the spectacles, and I'm going to use an action to cast. Exactly, I'm doing an anime charm person on Nicolai, which if he's hostile, he has advantage on the saving throw.
All right, let's see. 9.
Okay, he is charmed. That is my action. That counts as casting a spell through this, so that's not anything I can do. Anything else I can do with that? So he's charmed, which is amazing. So okay, so this is I just want to double check. Yeah, okay. So he's charmed. This can break. Maybe we deal with that in a second. But I'm not going to take any other bonus actions or movement. But I am going to start talking to Tarvik and just say, Tarvik, stand back down. Plan A.
Great.
Okay.
Amazing. Just a d20.
Great.
We'll see. Oh,
Is it
easily.
Tarvik? If Tarvik continues to fight, then charm person ends. Mm-hmm. And that would be very sad for me.
I mean, Tarvik will get Plan A for sure. So we literally discussed this as Plan A, Plan B.
Yep.
And if it is Plan A, if we're going back to Plan A, then we're just gonna start skedaddling. So.
All right. So you kind of hope against all hope. Your glasses stay true, and they do. They do not shatter. That's good because you were wearing them. They don't shatter on your eyes. As you kind of see Nicolai look towards you, and you see his jaw go a little bit slack. What used to be a tenseness seems to relax, and you can see he looks at you. And his eyes soften a bit. Roland. You kind of see like a hand axe about to swipe in the air mid, but just kind of pausing. You can see he's just kind of like his eyes are just skirting a little bit to the right behind him, kind of waiting.
Roland's gonna say to him, not gonna hurt you, and he wants to like reposition himself onto this side, try to draw his gaze this way.
Yes, and you will. He doesn't know Cassandra's back there.
Mm-hmm. And debating. I think we're gonna do sleep again at 3rd level again, but I'm gonna position it back here so he is the only one in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, sleep. So that's 30, 42.
42. Great. You can see the dwarf, again, kind of mid-air, seems to sway a little bit, and then just kind of shakes his head and looks at you with a knowing look.
Not hurting yet. Not hurting yet. Okay, that's my
hear
turn.
A little low growl from his throat, yeah. Cassandra.
That's my turn.
I feel like I heard Plan A as well. So
Yeah.
let me see.
Rita would have been yelling at Tarvik, so yeah.
Yeah. Did kind of want to get Zeke, but that guy's protecting him, and I don't want to get him mad. So, I will just hold my action to hit this guy with a crossbow if he attacks Roland.
Can you ping again?
Do I know
If he
Cassandra's
attacks
there?
Oh no, she's stealth hard.
Okay. I knew she's kind of accompanying from here, but I can't like target
You
her.
knew she was coming around the back because that's where she started, but
I can't like target her with a spell or anything. Okay.
nah,
Okay.
she hid really
Makes
well.
sense.
The negatives to being a sneaky rogue. Your party also can't see you.
Yeah,
wait,
so I'll
which
just
one?
crossbow that guy.
Okay, the one closest.
The one
to
next
him.
to Roland.
Yeah.
If he gets aggressive towards any of my allies.
Okay, sounds good. Remember that. Zeke is still asleep. Roland, you continue to get that sense. He's just kind of like, in his sleep. Tarvik.
Alright, well, hearing Plan A, Tarvik's gonna be like, oh, okay, are we back on Plan A? Great. And I'm just going to walk 10, 20, 30 to there.
You see in front of you two dwarves, mouth agape, just kind of staring a little bit up in the air.
Do I see Zeke in
Yeah, he's
in here?
slumped on the ground behind that second dwarf. Yep.
And I just look over to Roland and be like, oh, apparently we're going back to Plan A. Gives a shrug.
Roland's just like, yeah, okay, we plan A.
That ends your turn, Tarvik?
That's my turn.
Alright.
Oh, like when I say plan A, like look at the dwarf, be like, Plan A. Not
Like happy.
Yeah, good. Everyone likes Plan A.
Yeah, you witnessed Plan B, and people almost died. For sure died.
That's so funny. Alright. I'll say... Let's take a little break right now. Alright. So, we are top of the round again, and it is the dwarves. Gosh, okay. You hear the leader of the group who you all saw earlier on before this battle ensued. He was kind of talking to Rita and being the front face person. You kind of see him turn around, come up a little bit closer. It's going to close the distance a bit here. Probably here, actually. As he kind of looks over his shoulder to the left. Rita and Tarvik, you would be able to see this. He looks over back and shouts out to Nicolai and says, "What do we have to talk about? They killed, and they tried to kill us. They attacked us. They're our enemies," as he gets his stance ready. And you can see Nicolai kind of check on his compatriot and then just take a step forward, catty corner, and reach out. "Captain, I think we might be overpowered here. They almost took me out." it took us out. And he like looks back over to the still burning dwarf to the right who is standing, but you can see he's kind of next to the building edge, which seems to be licking a bit with flames. It's not an uproarious flame, but it's flaring a bit with the drizzling keeping it from just consuming the building. And you can see this guy is listening attentively, Roland, as he's facing square off with you. But he's still like on the edge. You can see him kind of shaking a little bit with his grip, like he really wants to attack you, but he's kind of holding for now. Same with the one in front of you, Rita. Then it's Rita's turn.
Okay. I activate my Mantle of Majesty, which I have never used before. Rita takes on her appearance of otherworldly beauty, which in her case is all of her sort of fiendish features just become very, very, very exaggerated and very beautiful. Her normally sort of reddish skin turns, a crimson. Her horns sort of grow out and curl around themselves. And she's very much like a goth fiend, especially now as she's sort of gotten the inspiration from Pick, and her she actually sort of this shadowy mantle cloak kind of appears on her back, on her shoulders, and it tapers down into basically dragonfly wings that sort of hover and flutter and flicker a bit behind her. So I'll put up what this does.
Please.
And so I activate that, and she's going to just very gracefully, majestically start to walk this way. And then I'm going to use my ability here that's afforded by Mantle of Majesty. I'm going to cast Command on this dwarf that is currently charmed, speed 0, and incapacitated. I'm going to cast Command, and I'm going to tell him, emancipate.
Interesting.
So he immediately fails the saving throw.
Yes.
And then I drop concentration on Hypnotic Pattern so that he is no longer incapacitated. His speed is no longer 0.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna...
Can you drop it on one, or do you drop it on all of them?
I can't. I have to drop it on all of them.
Yeah.
I don't have other options. Yep.
Okay.
And then I with my remaining action, I turn around to Nicolai, and I wanna just sort of try to persuade him. I'm just say, Nicolai, come with us. We it won't work to talk here. Just follow us. And I'm going to just try to persuade him with advantage because he is charmed.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me read this. All right, so Nicolai is also charmed. So there's 3 of them that are charmed. They automatically fail the saving throw against the command you say, which is emancipate. So all of these 3 individuals are going to follow that same command, because I don't see you having the ability to carve out here.
I believe that the way that charm works, the command works, is you can only target one creature with command.
You might be right. Yes. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, to a creature. Great, okay. So, specifically, alright. No persuasion roll necessary, because Nicolai is charmed by you and treats you as an ally. So, he's just gonna kind of smile at you and just kind of like walk towards you.
Okay.
But he's not gonna walk because he can't. But he kind of like takes a motion that he's gonna walk towards you. You see immediately, out of a reverie kind of into another but different reverie, you see Roland, the closest dwarf next to you, turns around, and you turn the token, and actually, oh, interesting. You don't see him turn around. You just kind of see him nod towards you, Rita. And that ends your turn, yes?
That's it. That's everything.
All
Yep.
right. Roland. You can see the middle dwarf that's kind of to the bottom. Just kind of nods towards Rita.
Okay, so the two that were previously hypnotized, they appear non-hostile, at least to Rita.
Right now, they appear non-hostile, yep.
But the other one most definitely does not.
This one to your left definitely does not. You see there's anger in his eyes.
Okay. Do I have any insight on, like, how close sleep came to working? Like...
Yeah, he was swaying. That's what I was trying to indicate with you, that he was swaying.
Okay.
So very close.
Okay. Very close.
But it seems to have just shrugged it off.
I'm still concentrating on my storm thing. If you just need someone to do, let's say, do a good bit of damage to somebody so that you could put them to sleep, you could just hold it and just be like, "Hey, Tarvik, we're going back to Plan B."
Plan B for a second.
Well, but I guess I'm worried that if we do any damage to them whatsoever, that might break charm person. Is that true? Like, if we attack an ally of someone that's charmed, does that break their charm?
Not.
Do I know that?
You would know that, being a spellcaster. Yeah, you would know the distinction of those who appear to be charmed, and you shouldn't be attacking them if you want that to stay in effect.
What about attacking their ally, though? If we attack the ally
You
of
would
someone
know,
who
yeah.
is charmed, that's fine. I do know that will break it.
You would know that, yeah.
Okay. So not going to
The
do any
spell
damage to them.
says, until you or your companions do anything harmful to it.
To it. So if I'm trying to find out if I will break charm on this person if this guy takes damage.
I mean, I think that we heard the ruling, so well, these guys are no longer charmed, actually, because the concentration failed. This guy already failed his command, but he's no longer... His saving throw against command automatically, but he is no longer charmed
So
at this moment.
he's following the command only. That's why you saw him nod, like, kind of acknowledging.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So this guy...
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
I didn't put the... Oops. I took off the one token.
Does this guy look aggressive to me then? Is he no longer charmed or command, so he looks aggressive?
He's not looking up in the air anymore. He's just kind of like looking straight. From your vantage point, you can't really see his face, but he hasn't thrown up his weapons yet.
Okay, well I'm gonna I feel like plan A involved getting Zeke, and I'm still going to probably try to put him. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm holding casting on sleep for certain individuals to take damage, and then I will release sleep at 3rd level.
Wait, say that one more
That is
time.
what I'm doing. I am holding on the spell sleep, so that if this guy, and hopefully both of them, if they take damage, I'm going to cast the spell sleep.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Are you giving us any cue to that?
I feel like I might say something of not gonna hurt you, just want you to fall asleep, and you might see my hand motion start a spell but not finish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll say that aloud.
I just imagine Roland's hand like taking on like the sleep motion with like the 2 palms, and then he's like about to put it to his like face, but he doesn't yet. Cassandra, since that ends Roland's turn, you kind of hear this aloud as Roland speaks to aloud. Kind of get what he's hinting at.
Okay. Does Zeke have any weapons on him? Like, I see his stuff, but does
That's
he...
just his
do they
token.
pick up from him?
Yeah, he doesn't have
Okay.
anything. His hands are shackled, you see. Like a big lock on it.
And I still think he's an asshole, right?
Up to you.
I'm gonna pop up here. And I'm going to... I know he's asleep, but with my bonus action... Well, with my action, I want to free his hands.
Okay. You can make a lockpicking check, but it's going to be a disadvantage, as You insert your thieves' tools, and as you quickly begin work, ooh, this lock is like fighting back almost.
All right, I'll give it a shot. 16.
You feel like some resistance. It's super weird. You're very used to being able to immediately kind of feel the where do they go? Not pistons, but like the little bar things like go up and down on the locks as you pick. But it almost feels like there's a weight to them that seems to be random almost, and it's like it's parrying you as if it was like trying to fight back, and then as you take a little bit of time, it doesn't seem to budge.
All right. Well, with my bonus action, I can also do a Thieves' Tools check. So can I try again?
Try again, absolutely. Again, disadvantage. Oh, nice. The first time you're like,
oh, that's sleight of hand. Hang on. It would be a plus 10.
Yeah, these tools.
If you want to keep the same roll, it'd be a plus 10.
We'll
so it'd be
it.
3 more than that.
We'll keep it. So right. You do it the first time, right? And you're like, the rain is getting in the way. You kind of like, you move your fingers a little bit, trying to get some more dexterity, and you go at it again. You feel that pressure again. It seems to be fighting back. And then you seem to get a pattern to what it's doing, and you kind of make a workaround. You kind of dip up when you feel like it's pushing down, and you continue moving forward, and the lock opens.
Nice. Alright, I was going to do more with my turn, but that was more complicated than I thought, so that's my whole turn. But I didn't attack anyone.
No,
so.
you didn't. Cassandra, now you kind of hear a murmuring as Zeke is just stews and Z's and off in daydreaming world, and you also hear what Roland heard previously, which was the name Ghek. You kind of hear it murmured, and you can see a little smile on his face.
Oh, it's adorable. But she did lie to us, so I don't know. It could be a couple of assholes.
It's not your turn.
Okay. I don't... It sounds like Roland just wants to put them to sleep and not me to do damage to them, based on what he said. So what? Based on this, is this guy? Does this guy look angry? This guy looks like he's gonna take a swipe at me if I try to move away.
He has kind of like a blank look on his face. He's just taking in the situation.
Okay.
He just got out of a reverie. Before you kind of saw him, like his gaze upturned, a little bit of a glaze over his eyes, his mouth agape, and now you just kind of see that go away, and he's just trying to figure out, like a blank look on his face, just what the hell's going on.
Okay. Yeah, then I will just... I'll just look at Cassandra, who is currently successfully picked Zeke's hands out. And
I'm not very strong, by the way. I can't carry a sleeping man.
Okay, then I will make my way over to here-ish, wherever that would be, and I will pick up Zeke. And I don't think I'll probably have very much movement, but I can at least get to here. Ooh, one beyond here.
Okay.
And I'll have like just Zeke over my shoulder.
Yep. I'll just move him right around here. He's on Tarvik's back. Great. That ends your turn?
Yep, that's it.
Right. Holland Zeke. You see this gentleman over here kind of push past his comrade, and as he's walking towards who you've heard Captain, he voices out, Captain, give me the key. Prisoner of shackles. Key. As he walks forward. What was their speed? I think. No, full 30. Alright, so he goes one more. Ooh. Yes. As his hand outstretches towards the leader of what you assume is trooping. Let's see. You get a confused look from this guy, Rita. You see he's looking confused towards his compatriot. And this guy is just kind of getting his bearings. And he seems to kind of hold his position, but does... no, he's not going to advance towards you. He's going to... He's going to go... Whoa, he's not going to go there. He's going to go here, against the wall. And he's going to kind of be facing outwardly, so... kind of watching both you, Rita, and the rest of your party, just kind of eyeing both of you. And then this guy's gonna step forward and just kind of be next to you with his weapons at his side. And you see, he's just gonna move forward here. To try, let's go a little bit here. This is, oh my god, this is Nicolai. As you see, the one next to him also kind of moves forward with him as Nicolai is helping him towards these guys over here. Kind of places him down in front of the captain. He's probably going to move here actually a bit closer. From what you guys can tell, just visually, it seems like either the dwarves are in a holding pattern, cognizant of what's going on, and just trying to anticipate any weird actions or attacks, or they seem to be under Rita's influence. Or they are just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So, a little bit of wide-ranging effectiveness here. Rita.
What did this guy do?
He's just
During
holding.
that?
He's holding.
Just holding?
Yes.
Okay. Cool, thank you.
With my bonus action, I cast command on Nicolai. I tell him, follow. He automatically fails. Then I just walk away, like back down the road the other direction.
Okay.
And I'm just like, it's time to go.
All right. And you'll be off the map, so we'll just say you're off the map here, but keep you on that edge. Roll him.
Sleep fizzles. Never really sleep. I'm gonna go ahead and step out of his range. Doesn't take a swing at me?
He does not.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and bonus action just to get up to Rita and following her off the map, and then I'm going to use my spell of power to regain a spell slot. That's all I'm doing.
Wonderful. Cassandra.
I will follow Rita's lead because I know she'll get angry if I don't.
Well, do you have any other ideas? I feel like we're on the cusp of accomplishing everything.
The gloomers come. I don't know. Alright. Peace out. I will... I'll bonus that. Well, I guess he didn't attack. I'll leave. Movement, action, bonus action. Catch up with Rita.
As you do, yes, you leave off the map. All right. Zeke is still a sleepy boy. And Tarvik, you now hear, as he kind of murmurs, in a very, pleasant, dream-like state, Ghek. And Tarvik, it is now your turn.
Well, I don't know a Ghek. So what I will do is continuing to carry him, and probably slowing down a little bit. I will just spend my action moving and dashing up to catch up with the rest of the group as we walk down the road.
Great. I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please, as the dwarf next to you drops his weaponed hand down and just reaches forward for Zeke and tries to kind of wrestle him away from you. So in order to kind of move away from that, make a dex save for me, please.
Okay.
Uses reaction. Ooh, that's nice. Dice.
Pretty good for me.
Good
really
check.
Good. That's amazing. All right, hold on, let me see. Okay, that's a fail. So you see him kind of reach towards, and you just immediately duck out of the way, and Zeke kind of as you kind of like bump along speedily away. He's not able to grasp Zeke. You hear him kind of shout out a little bit, "Prisoner!"
I will look at him and be like, "Oh, sorry." As I'm like running
Away.
back a little bit. Yeah, just like, "Oh, sorry." Plan A. You know what I mean?
Shrugs.
Unless you would like to go, we can go back to Plan B if you want. But I think someone almost died with Plan B, so gives
As
a
you just
shrug and keeps
backpedal
walking.
away very nonchalantly.
Zeke, like a dwarf on top of my arms.
I think he's human, right?
He's human.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, is he human? I thought it was a dwarf. Okay, then a human over my arms.
Yeah. Ooh. He's gonna use his full mode now. He's unloaded his friend. I'll say he's joined you off map. And that is Nicolai. You can see he's gonna try and chase after you, Tarvik. I'm gonna say make another dexterity saving throw for me, please, to see if he can catch up to you at all and grab him one last time, because you are slowed down by him a bit.
Mm-hmm. That seems like a more normal
A
rule.
more Tarvik roll. You see.
Yeah, that's a Tarvik roll there.
You see the dwarf who tried to reach out, tries to grab again, and it's not going to be to scale or whatever, but just moving the token so you can see. He actually gets a grasp of Zeke's arm, and as you kind of are pulling away, Zeke kind of gets thrown to the ground a little bit as he falls off, and now he's in the grasp of this dwarf. And he says, the dwarf calls out and says, "I need help! They're taking the prisoner away!" As they're gonna try and run over. The only one who's probably gonna be able to match is, I'll just say, one other person gets up, and then I'll say it's Rita's turn. Rita, you're pretty far out. Rita, Cassandra, and Roland are pretty far out. Tarvik's the only one who's a little bit behind you guys.
These two that are chasing. Am I within 60 feet of them? And are they within 20 feet of each other?
I'll say yes to both.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Calm Emotions.
Ooh, I
So
love
they need to make a Charisma saving throw, and if they fail, I'll just put it up.
Yeah.
But
It's a fail.
yeah. So you attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in 20-foot radius sphere makes a Charisma failure. Choose to fail if it wishes. If the creature fails its saving throw, you choose one of the following two effects. You can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. When the spell ends, any suppressed effect resumes. The one that I want to use, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that it is hostile towards. This indifference ends if the target is attacked or harmed by a spell, or if it witnesses any of its friends being harmed. I want it to be I want them to become indifferent to our party and to Zeke.
Yes, and indifferent they have become. As you see now, they're kind of looking at their hands, kind of like, why did we even care in the first place? And they kind of look towards each other and shrug, and then just let Zeke go. Does that end your turn, Rita?
Yeah, I'm going to keep walking away. That was an action.
Yep.
It was a spell, so I can't bonus action command this turn.
Yep.
But yeah, I want to hope that Nicolai chooses to continue following.
Roland, it's your turn now.
If they're not following Tarvik anymore, then I'm gonna keep just keeping up and
Okay.
not doing anything.
All right, Cassandra.
So none of them are coming after us anymore?
So far, it seems like the two that were chasing you seem to have stopped.
Okay. Is there any way I can... So Zeke's still on the ground?
Zeke is on the ground right now. Yeah, the closest ally is Tarvik.
Okay. Can I run back and smack Zeke?
Yes,
Oh.
Okay.
you can absolutely
Hopefully
do
wake
that.
him up.
Yeah, yeah,
And
go for it.
tell him to get on his feet. We're running.
Yeah, you do so. You, how do you decide to hit him?
Oh, just right across the face.
Just a full-on
Open
smack.
palm.
Yeah. Nice.
No mercy.
We'll say Cassandra has some rings for this moment. Just for this moment to hit Zeke across the face. You do so, and you can see he kind of gets out of his stupor and his reverie as he just kind of looks around, blinking from the drizzle. Ow!
We freed you. Now hurry up. Let's go.
Zeke just kind of, again, is just kind of looking around and says, no complaints with me here, alright. And though unhappy, seems to be trailing along as he kind of looks back his shoulder, just confused as to why dwarves aren't chasing after him. Tarvik. Zeke seems to be on his 2 feet and keeping pace with you guys. What do you do?
I'll briefly look back at the people who are not coming after us anymore, ? And I'll just keep going and try to catch up with the group.
Alright. I will say this ends the combat. They just kind of drop and then they disappear off in the distance as you guys continue your pace to flee any further encounter with them. So, as you guys are kind of together in the drizzling rain here, and I'll throw you guys here for the heck of it as you are traveling, and Zeke is with you. Though his token may not be showing, he is with you. What are you doing?
Is Nicolai with us as well? I would
Yes,
have.
sorry, yes, Nicolai's with you. Yes.
Okay, for a minute since I activated Man of Majesty, it lasts a minute, and I would just continue to command him for that time, and then after that, does he at the end of that minute? What happens? I go back to normal. Is he's still charmed for an hour with Charm Person?
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Zeke. Token Zeke. Oh boy. As he is just kind of like walking behind you, he's just kind of looking at you pleasantly. He doesn't really say anything. When you guys look back, he just kind of like nods. Hi. God, what a dreary day.
Yeah, Nicolai, what's going on? Why were you traveling this prisoner?
Us Hillhammer heroes, we got a mission and we're completing it.
What?
Hillhammer.
He said Hillhammer heroes.
Mm-hmm. What happened to Cromwell?
He got taken. I don't know.
So, what do you mean? The mission. What was the mission? Was it just to abduct Zeke here?
We needed someone high-ranking. An eye for an eye.
Okay, so when I sent to you before, were you lying to me when you said you didn't know what I was talking about?
Yeah, back then I didn't trust you, but
okay, good. But you trust me now, and that's good. Great.
Zeke is looking at this all very confused.
Yeah. Great.
Give it to him.
So then why do you think, or why does Hillhammer think that is it Cromwell that was taken that's missing, or is it another Darkstone?
It's Cromwell.
And why does why does Hillhammer or whoever gave you the mission? Why do they think that taking Zeke will get Cromwell back? Why do you think that the humans have him?
Well, it's standard military retaliation. We get trained if someone gets captive, we negotiate with captive of our own.
Right, but why do you think that the humans? Why you know that this is Seagarden's man, right?
What'd you say? Seagarden's what?
You know that this is Seagarden's man, right?
He's one of the top people. He's a good negotiating chip.
Show him the death creature picture, the gloomer.
Okay, and I'll go through my little my little notes, and I will pull out this little picture that I've drawn.
Have you seen these creatures? They've been taking people.
He recoils instantly. He says, "This is coming from Duras. You should be careful of them. They're plotting to destroy us." And he seems to be conflicted with like anger and fear, as his hand is shaking as he points to the book and says, "These creatures."
You think Duras is controlling them?
I put my papers away so that they don't get ruined in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When did Cromwell get taken? How? When and how?
I don't really know the details. You'd have to talk to Captain Coingut.
And the one we left behind. I look at Rita.
Is Captain Coingut? Is he your captain? Is he back in the village?
Yeah, he's the captain of us Hillhammer heroes. You haven't heard of us?
Weren't you part of the reason Cromwell had to leave?
I'm sorry. What was the captain's name? I like lost it.
Coin and then gut. Literally the two words just combined.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he asks, "Have we heard of Hillhammer's heroes?" I might ask him, "Have you heard of Death's Witness?"
Yeah, there's a flinch from Tarvik.
There's like a very noticeable pause of confusion. No.
No, we have not heard of Hillhammer's heroes.
I love that.
Okay.
Nicolai doesn't know much.
Did you travel with Cromwell when he left Parabor? Did you leave with him?
So right before you ask that question, Zeke is just kind of like, again, like looking, like it's a ping pong table. He's just kind of like looking at the person who kind of kidnapped him as part of the group, and then seeing how amicable he is, looking at you guys, and then you can see his frustration is rising, and he's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Let's just kill this bastard.
I would.
I will shackle you back up.
I will.
Oh, you can try then.
I would have sleep at third level. I wasn't asleep.
He kind of like, you can see his arrogance is showing. He kind of like rolls his neck a little bit and like pushes his shoulders up like he's ready to fight at you, and then all of a sudden he just goes lax and then just immediately fades on the ground.
I look over at Zeke and I'm like, I give a heavy sigh and I pick Zeke up and start carrying him again.
Sorry, Tarvik.
And then what was the question that was asked?
If he left Parabor with Cromwell.
Oh yeah,
Nicolai left.
Yeah.
And
I delivered him to Hillhammer, and then went about my ways.
So how did you join up with the Hillhammer heroes?
Oh well, once I got Cromwell, I got promoted. Now I'm sergeant. You're looking at Sergeant Dustboot here, and he just has like a dopey grin on his face.
Doesn't Hillhammer hate Cromwell? So did you just give Cromwell to like prison?
Oh, well, Cromwell committed crime, treason. Of course.
Just like walks away, like so angry, like doesn't want to do anything to fuck up Rita's thing.
So you took Cromwell did not go willingly with you. Just to be clear, you took him to Hillhammer.
Of course he came willingly. Well, it's easy. I just lied to him.
Gotcha. Okay, but it was Cromwell who got taken. Cromwell is the Darkstone that got taken, and you all are mad about that.
Oh well, he's a good prisoner to keep one of our shoot. Hold on, give me a second. I want to use the right vocabulary. Keep our council member in check.
Oh my god.
His mother.
I start pacing.
Okay, so Hillhammer took Cromwell to keep his mother in check on the council. Correct? Or no?
I don't know. That's what I think.
Oh. Okay.
And how do you feel about that? Is that like, do you think that that's an okay thing to do?
Well, you don't know about the Darkstones. You know, if Cromwell could betray all of us, who's to say his family aren't in cahoots with him?
I mean, if
keeping
you really
an eye on them, I think.
How? I mean, if that's really the case, if that's what you think, and if that's what most people in Bernholder think, why does she even have a seat on the council?
They're an old family. You don't mess with tradition.
So you don't mess with tradition, but you do extort it.
You do what you have to do to protect the city. Hillhammer has done a wonderful job.
I'm gonna sort of turn to the party. What do you guys think? I mean, we need to find Cromwell. Obviously, I turn to to Nicolai. Seagarden. Look, I know that Seagarden didn't take Cromwell. I know this because I read her thoughts. Now, Duras is complicated. There's lots of politics there. There's maybe another house that's done this. We can't rule that out. But Zeke isn't gonna get him back. I think that we ought to go back to your captain. Maybe go back to Hillhammer and figure out what they're willing to tell us about how Cromwell disappeared, and then that can help us to figure this out. And the four of us, we want to recover Cromwell. We want to make sure that he's okay. So I think we're on the same side, you and us.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, because he's still charmed.
Two 13s. Lucky number 13.
Well, I mean, I could try, but man, we really think Duras is bad. There's a lot of shady stuff happening. Those creatures. And he kind of nods to the book and just slightly looks away as well.
The creatures are attacking Duras.
That's just.
They're not.
They're. I don't know. That's what they claim.
Do you want to? Do you want to see for yourself?
No.
I mean, if we go to Duras and we hang out at night and we just sort of.
If I go to Duras, I'm going to be killed as a traitor. I'm going to be swinging on the patio.
Why did you decide to, like, I mean, is that just for abdicating, just for leaving Seagarden, or no, because you helped capture Zeke? That's why, right? That's your betrayal.
He
I think
kind
it
of
groups
purses his lips like the silence is an agreement.
Is there more to that story?
Well, I'm familiar with them. I kind of know their tactics. I know Zeke. He kind of like disgustingly looks down at like the collapsed body. Same patterns. Easy. We ambushed them. Without me, maybe it would have taken a bit more time.
So, Zeke isn't going to go back to Bernholder. He's going to go back to Duras, but we want to find Cromwell, and we want to know what we can. So I don't know. I'm kind of looking to the group as well as making a plan for this next step. I'm willing to go
talk to Coingut, right?
Yeah, I'm willing to go talk to Coingut. What do you guys want to do?
Coin's not going to listen to you.
Would he listen to you?
I mean, I'm his right-hand man. I can try, but I mean, he knows the mission. Yeah, you guys make some persuasive arguments. He like looks towards Rita, but he kind of shrugs, leaves it hanging.
What is the mission? Like, is it more than just capturing Zeke?
Capture Zeke. That's it. Use him as a levering chip, then. Deliver him to King Hillhammer.
I don't know. I feel like we need to go to Bernholder. Like, I feel like that's the next step.
I mean,
what do you guys think?
What do you want to accomplish in Bernholder?
I want to investigate and try to figure out what's going on with
Bernholder as we move forward.
Bernholder.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean, I want to investigate. I want to figure out where Cromwell is. I want to figure out.
Well, I think we're probably going to do better to follow leads, and just showing up in the city without knowing who to ask or what to do or who's ally or not is probably not going to get us to find Cromwell. I personally want to go talk to Coingut. I am not objecting to sneaking in there. I can look like anyone.
I don't think we should bring Zeke back that direction. I could stay back with Zeke. I can't really disguise myself or anything, so.
I also cannot disguise myself, and I am not stealthy, so I should as well.
I mean, I could look like Zeke, and we could like go back. I don't know if Nicolai, you would be willing to do that or not. That might be too much.
No. I mean, I think that if we go back to Coingut, we just go back as ourselves. We present ourselves as we are, and we return Nicolai to them, because we really just wanted to have this conversation with you, Nicolai. We're not trying to get you killed by bringing you back to Duras, right? We
kind of nods.
We want to. We're just trying to figure out what's going on and what happened to Cromwell.
He got taken. I don't know what else to tell you. Duras took him. They're attacking us,
right?
And
and I think I mentioned like Duras is complicated. If that's true, if we're gonna find Cromwell, we need to know more about how he got taken and what Coingut knows.
I mean, I could
if Coingut knows more than you do.
I mean, if we need to know where Cromwell is, I was looking for Zeke specifically, but if we need to know where Cromwell is, if you give me a day, I can between scrying and divination, we can probably get pretty close to where he's at.
Well, I mean,
We
we
did-
did scry, and we got that he's in a room somewhere. And I
Hmm.
well, no, we scry. We sent to him, and
We definitely
he
did
was,
sending. I don't know if we did scrying on.
he wasn't really able
well.
to respond. It seemed like there was a fog in his mind.
And then maybe if we give it a day, like I said, I can do that again. Get his location, and go from there.
Nicolai, if we go talk to your captain, do you think that he would be willing to share information with us to help us find Cromwell? Or, sounds like we can probably find Cromwell, but just share information about what's going on and just what you all know about his abduction?
Seeing as how you attacked all of us earlier, probably not. And he just kind of smiles.
Yeah, fair enough. I go and I sort of, do a side eye to Tarvik.
I mean, it's also the
do you
gloomers,
guys,
right?
We're just standing and walking out in the rain. Do you guys have any of that magic stuff protect us?
From the rain?
It's just dreary. I saw you guys do magic earlier. We can do something simple, right? I mean, we're just standing out here.
Not.
I can
not
press
simple.
digitation to warm him up a little bit.
Cool.
That's what I got.
What's the timeline for the gloomers, guys?
If they were going to attack, they should have attacked very soon.
Actually, yeah. It's been an hour. I know we were there for like 2 hours or more before they arrived. It was 3 hours out.
It was 3 hours out. We spent an hour in Duros getting ready to go. Then we went and we killed another hour, right? And then they showed up.
Yes.
So maybe still half an hour away.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There was also people there, which makes no sense. Still.
I don't want to leave the area without knowing whether or not the vision came true.
Well, maybe why don't we return? Well, hang on. What I know we want to talk to this general, maybe, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it makes sense to take Nicolai back, try to smooth things over with the captain, see what he's willing to talk to us about. I can probably slip away if things turn out bad, especially with your help. She says as she sort of gives Nicolai a nice fun little punch on the shoulder.
He just smiles at you.
But if you guys want to come around just to observe or to help out, however you'd like to. Yeah, I mean, I think that's reasonable.
I feel like if there are gloomers coming, we should all be kind of prepared.
Yeah, especially if there's gloomers coming. You guys definitely want to have you guys around.
I'm just slightly tapped, not like a lot, but just slightly. Also, how are we feeling about Zeke? Obviously, he's asleep right now. I don't think we want to give him back to Hillhammer.
Oh yeah,
no.
yeah. Zeke is not coming with us.
I feel like we should put him in a hole and put a note on him and be like, "Make your way back to Duros." We got shit to do.
I mean, I think that is a good idea. He is probably going to wake up because I think your sleepy thing.
Yeah, he might be.
Minute.
Yeah, like he might be waking up right now.
Oh, that's right.
No,
it's only a little bit. We'll give it a little bit.
No, it's duration's a minute. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Why does sleep suck so much?
It's a first level. Isn't it like a first or second level spell?
Well,
it's a first level spell.
Yeah.
It is, but it's like never does what I want it to do.
The length of it doesn't change. It's just the amount of HP. But
you gotta get that meta magic.
In the background, you just kind of hear.
I'll slap him awake. I'll slap him awake.
What the fuck, mate?
Again,
You're really fun to
do
slap.
it again.
Again, I've been carrying you for a little bit. I'll set him down. And I will. Oh, what do I have? What do I have for extra weapons? I might not have anything.
I have something.
Give him what?
Okay.
We're arming Zeke. Is that what we're doing?
I was gonna arm him, and I wasn't going to leave him unarmed to let him walk back to town when we know gloomers might be attacking from that direction.
I take this thing that I've been carrying around for a long time. It's wrapped in a cloth, and I hand it to Zeke, and I said, "Hey, you can use this to protect yourself."
Didn't you drop that?
Did I drop the trident?
I think you guys left it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we definitely did.
You left
We
it.
did. We left it in the library. We
yeah.
left it at the library.
Oh, okay. Then why have I been carrying it around so long? All right, I can give him a dagger.
It's like phantom weight. You go and reach for it, and you're like, "Oh, wait a minute."
I'm very proud of you for this idea, though.
I would have been so helpful. That would have been great. Oh well. All right, I give him the dagger, and let's see. Do I have anything like that could shield him? I think I gave away all of my armor.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was so weight heavy. I think I threw away a lot of my other weapons.
You know what? You know what, Zeke? I've also got something for you, and I'll give him my light crossbow and all of my crossbow bolts.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
He kind of just like scoffs and says, "Thanks."
You're welcome.
Is he wearing any armor at all?
Yeah. Go back to Duros now.
Wait, did I hear a question?
Is he wearing any armor at all?
Yeah, he has some leather.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, Zeke, my spell don't work on people wearing armor, so you're fine.
Did you guys just tell him to go to Duros?
Yes.
I point in the direction of Duros.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay.
You were very welcome.
Like,
go to Duros.
Well, what the fuck then? Y'all not coming with me?
Well, you're really strong, right?
He kind of pauses.
You know, I don't
right.
think we should really leave him alone.
Dead
I really don't think we should.
We don't like.
God damn.
You can see him like kind of puffish us, even though he's like just very beat up and not in good shape. He's like trying to keep his composure and just kind of like sluggishly going off.
Hey, Zeke, I don't think we're gonna be too long. If you hang out in the area, try to stay safe. I don't think we're gonna be too long.
He takes a pause, doesn't look back, and just keeps walking after that pause. You probably hear a little scoff under his breath.
Should we heal?
You know what? I have a ton of healing potions. I'll give him a common healing potion too.
Do you run after him?
Yeah, I'm really fast.
Okay, you run after him, and how do you grab his attention?
I'm like, wait, one more thing.
He kind of stops.
If you tell me what Ghek means to you, I will give you this healing potion.
He when he like looked at you kind of sideways, like he didn't even turn his head. He just kind of like turned his head sideways and was just looking at you guys with his peripherals. When you said the word Ghek, you can see his body visibly stiffens, and you see like a little bit of flush go around his cheeks. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's good enough. I'll give it him.
You give him a common?
Yeah, I'll give him a common healing potion. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna heal myself a little bit. I'm drinking some potions.
Yeah, go for it. He kind of stops, chugs it, just chucks the glass on the ground. It shatters, and he just keeps walking.
Don't litter!
You hear him. You hear him mumble very almost inaudibly under his breath with other things, and then keeps going.
You're welcome. I strut back. He's got such a crush on Ghek.
Who's Ghek?
Someone that lied about being a Lara's student. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
She might have been a student. She might have just gave us a different name than when she was a Lara's student.
So the man who we believe is kind of an asshole human being wants to get with another asshole human being.
Well, she was nice, but she told us at least one lie.
I mean, she might have been red for all we know.
Ooh, he's attracted to red?
Yeah.
I like that story.
Anywho, let's go back to town maybe and wait. Are we going back to town?
I wanna walk Nicolai back to Neral and sort of return him to his guys, see if there are any gloomers around, and just see if there's anything that we can anything we can do to talk to the captain.
Okay, so you guys head back to Neral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We should be prepared for gloomers, though.
And just put out that you don't want me to look like anyone other than myself for this.
I mean, no, I think that we do this straight up.
Okay. Sounds good.
We sort of busted them.
Message to Seaguard and tell her that Zeke's on the way. Maybe
I'm out of those for the day.
Darn. What's that? Never mind. I don't know about it. That thing that you gave me, doesn't it send a message?
I don't know what it does.
Okay. That's right. He just said it was magical. That's right.
Yeah, it's just magical. I looked at it and I saw it was a magical. It's a magical little raven.
Yep. All right. I don't know about it anyway.
I mean, if you ever want to investigate your lumpy silver powder, you can.
We haven't had like a moment to chill.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I was looking at my spell. See if I have anything. I don't really have anything. Okay.
All right, so you guys head back. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Roland, can you send messages?
I can not send messages. She gave us names of Ghek did. She gave us names of her companions too, and they're not on the list either. I think I'm agreeing with you. I'm probably wrong. She probably for sure lied.
Yeah, and she wanted to see the house though, so it's very confusing.
It was.
There's more to that story, but Zeke's too proud.
She could have been the necromancer that ended up going into the
God,
because there's alter self. There's I don't know. I don't did we detect magic on her or anything? I don't remember any of that. Let's go to Neral. Let's go to Neral.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go back to Neral.
You go back to
as we approach.
Neral.
Is it on fire as we approach?
No, you see it's slightly aflame, like that one building, but it's being contained by the fire, and eventually, as time continues, you gather intelligently that the water will just put out the flame, so it's not a concern. You guys are back in Neral. No, my brain's not away.
Are the dwarves still there, or?
You take a look and it seems empty.
How much time has passed?
Up to you guys. Probably not that much time for that conversation. I'd say a half hour probably, right? You guys kind of got out of the way and then just kind of stood around and talked for a little bit and then made your way back. So 15. Okay. You tell me if that doesn't sound right, but...
That sounds about right.
If you want to have the charm person still active. So I'm going in your favor here.
So I'm just sort of a discussion. Well, I guess they moved out. I don't know. I feel like if they're not hanging out, I don't really feel like committing too much to this. We came here to check on the gloomers, to check on them, to bring Nicolai back. Nicolai, do you think you can make it back to your group on your own?
Being alone will let me be a little bit more stealthy, so maybe.
All right, well, if there's no trouble here.
And do you know where your group's headed, Nicolai?
We're going back to Bon Order.
Oh, okay.
Can you hold your own against, if a gloomer attacks you, you can, get away and be safe and all that?
Oh, take a little rest here, but I think so. They're They're not great, but I'll keep my head down.
Check the town real quick before we leave. Like, we should see if they're just inside a house or something, right? Like, they could be here.
And Tarvik, your vision saw civilians getting attacked, right? I still think we should try to protect them if we're here.
That's why I wanted to come back. It's strange that there are no civilians here now, and there will be in moments.
I mean, like, hasn't I thought that maybe I'm wrong, maybe my sense of time is off, but I feel like if your vision, the timing of your vision has already passed, right? Am I wrong?
Would it have passed?
Yeah, it would have passed.
Oh.
Well,
Is there another town that ends in RAL that we know of?
We saw visually this one, right? It matches what you saw, just not on fire.
Yeah, Tarvik, it matches.
I mean, okay, yeah, it matches. So, unless there's a town that looks similar or identical to this,
Is your god messing with you?
they shouldn't be. In theory, if the spell works correctly and completely honestly, they are forced to answer honestly, regardless. If I keep casting it multiple times, then they can change the results. But no, should be realistic.
And we didn't see scorch marks here, so it wasn't like mistaken for in the past or anything.
No.
Weird.
Tarvik, roll a religion check for me.
Yep.
Can
I help him somehow?
Nope.
Like trying to have this conversation.
Whoa!
Oh well, no need.
Isn't this like your second nat 20?
Yeah.
I feel like you had another one earlier.
I did. I forget on what
Insight.
though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. On insight.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I was gonna get attacked again.
Oh man, you're gonna get so much from this. This is fun.
Okay.
100% truthful of where Zeke would be. You got something cryptic, and you can gather that from like the confusion that you are having right now as a character. It's cryptic because 100% truthful. Zeke was here, as predicted. The other stuff, the fire, the gloomers, the running of the civilians. As your god is chaotic, that could be interpreted as either something in the past actually happening, or like you pointed out, because there are no scorch marks, representative of something. So you got actually a bit more than what you asked, but in a cryptic form. Like the surrounding elements of it were a little bit different, a little bit mismatchy. And you kind of, as you're thinking about that, you gain this insight that your divination, like, part of it was given to you straight, and the other part, you kind of have to, like, sift through what does this mean. And also, because of your natural 20, because of its cryptic nature, you gather that your deity might not be, I guess the term I'll use is happy with you, but take that loosely. As your natural 20, I'll give you more insight that maybe he's throwing you some of this extra stuff in a cryptic form because he's not that happy with you.
Okay. Well, to be fair, he hasn't been happy with his deity for a long time, so that's fine.
It makes sense.
Fine. That tracks.
Yes.
I expected far worse. But
And
I think
you gather. Actually, I'll say one additional thing. You gather that the kind of kickback that you got from your spell was because you specifically reached out to your deity through divination, and then did something extra, and that connection was strengthened. Like the divination cast strengthened your bond, and is now, like I said, is now providing some kickback to you, where you are now kind of more in focus of the deity, and so some of his anger is now reaching you. Before, he may have thought that, you were periphery, not really part of his attention sphere, but you might be creeping into it.
Oh, that's not great. We'll save that. That sounds like a future Tarvik problem.
That
but
nat
for the
20
time
is
being,
dope.
I know that nat 20 is good
So
times.
dope.
I will say then with that, I think all Tarvik will say from it is just, suppose it could be something far, far in the future. If that is the case, maybe it's best if we just move on.
Okay.
Try to get as quickly as we can to this captain. Have a conversation.
I don't know. I feel like it's not really worthwhile to keep chasing him and looking for the captain. Personally, I think we should head back, connect up with with Seagarden and report back and make a plan. Bernolder may need to wait. Nicolai, I hope that it's been kind of a weird kind of a day, but I hope that things aren't too rough. Wish you the best and good luck. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you ready to turn back or?
Do you mind if you give me a couple of healing potions like you gave that asshole? And he got nods off in the distance.
Absolutely. And I just immediately I give him 2 common healing potions.
Nice.
Oh. Cassandra shakes her head.
Well, just on what you were saying, Rhea, I think that we're definitely going to scry on Cromwell tonight. If you'd rather scry now, because it might give us insight on what to do right now, we can do that instead.
Yeah, we're kind of at a crossroads.
Did we already scry today?
Oh shit! Yes, we did.
So we can't do that until tomorrow anyway.
For the scrying mirror.
Scrying mirror, yeah.
Specifically.
Which is the only way we can scry, I think.
Well, now
Roland, you don't have scry?
No, it is a 5th level spell. I am not that powerful of a wizard.
Yeah, I was going to say, I get scrying.
I didn't know it was that level. Huh.
Yeah, I will get scrying, I guess, at level 9, but we're still level 8s, so.
Well, and I'm divided between my...
Here?
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
You should probably go find Zeke and rest, I guess. I'm still thinking, they're like, are we sure they're not here? Like, should we, like, I don't know, at least... Like, don't know if they do it in character, but just check the town real quick and make sure it's actually deserted.
We can try.
Nicolai drinks the 2 potions and just kind of sets them down on the ground. Doesn't smash them like Zeke did.
Was he hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hit by the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, he got charred.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nicolai. We should have done that earlier. Here, I'm going to give Nicolai another healing potion for the road in case a gloomer attacks you.
Oh, thank you. He, immediately downs it. As he did the other 2.
Okay.
5 points. Nice. Did you say Cassandra shakes her head or something?
Yeah, she's pissed.
Oh,
she's just arms crossed.
Oh, that's so funny.
We got them for free.
Did we?
Oh,
this guy lied to Cromwell and sent him to his enemy.
Well, he's a bad guy.
Also, I did a bunch of damage to him.
You know what, Nicolai, so could you.
Think twice about Hillhammer. He's a jerk, okay?
He's been a good king to us.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good leader.
You think he has.
You don't tell if Nicolai is
propaganda.
Magically propaganded, or just propaganda is potent enough on its own.
Man, you can try an insight check. Insight check. If you get a nat 20, I'll tell you. But that's hard.
Insight.
That's real hard.
Oh, okay, that is fitting.
That's the total opposite. Wow. So fitting. Yeah, he did, well, yeah, I mean, King Hillhammer is, he's been a good king. He's trying to combat all this nonsense that's been happening to us. I mean, our citizens have been taken, killed, I assume. And, Duras. Just be careful in Duras.
Just so you know, at very least the common people in Duras also think that, people are being taken and the Gloomers are attacking them, and they are. I mean, if someone's doing stuff in Duras, it's not the common people. It's not known.
I think
Even the
all
shield house
soldiers
doesn't
know.
know.
It's never the common people, but they get caught in the fray. Sure, I understand, but as soldiers, we do what we must.
Nicolai, you remember Parabor?
I do. He kind of thinks for a moment and pauses before answering. I do, yeah.
They're under attack right now by necromancers. You think that's Duras too? You think Duras would send them against one of their own towns?
Who knows?
Nah, man.
Someone else is pulling strings.
Sure.
Okay.
If you guys want to believe that, but stir us.
One last question, Nicolai, at least for me. Cromwell, when he went with you, he had a sword. Do you know what happened to that sword?
Oh yeah, confiscated.
So like Hillhammer has it, or do you give it to someone else?
Nicolai just shrugs. I don't know. We dropped
Alright.
off Cromwell.
Fair enough. Thanks, Nicolai. I don't know. Does anyone have anything else they want to do here?
Yeah, I think we should part ways with Nicolai before the spell wears off.
What spell?
The protection spell.
Listen,
protection spell,
I sort of like kneel down to look at Nicolai. You're gonna realize this pretty soon here, but in order to make all this happen, and to figure everything out, I did need to use a little bit of magic on you, but here you go. I'm gonna reach into my my little backpack and I'm gonna pull out a little bit of chocolate for him. Like this is for you, an apology. I hope that we can continue to have an amicable relationship. I really wish you the best of luck.
That's so sweet of you, Rita. Thank you. And he reaches out and says, I'll eat it right now. I've actually been a little hungry. That lightning sure did take a toll. If I had this during that, I could have made s'mores. And he just chomps a little bit. But good magic, I assume. I mean, we're
yeah,
good.
it's good magic.
Yeah,
it certainly is.
It's like the potions, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
And it was the fake chocolate that I gave him, so...
Oh my gosh, okay. Now, the fake chocolate I did put in I think it's in Beyond the Vault.
Oh, yeah.
Box of fake chocolates. So, I think, what did we have earlier? We used one of them. Oh,
We use whiskey.
I should mark this off, so... Yes. Okay, so we'll highlight the one... How do you highlight? Background. Alright, 7 has been used. So that should be highlighted. Okay, so another D8, and we'll ignore the 7 if we get it. Go ahead and roll, Rita. Natural 1. Caramel. Oh, you see him, and he like pops it in his mouth, and he's smiling. And you can see the chewing gets like slower and slower as you can see his brows for a little bit, and he just like does the thumbs up as he's trying to speak, but he can't. So he just resorts to basic hand signals. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Mm. He just kind of waves.
See ya. Bye bye.
I guess we go back towards Duras.
Yeah, let's go find Zeke.
All right.
It takes us a while to travel to Duras, doesn't it? Because we teleported here. But
it's gonna be a little bit. But this is where we will actually end tonight's session. This is a pretty good stopping point.
Mm-hmm.
So